رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum students. I am here with another English lecture of grade 9. Today's English lecture is about poem number 1 of your English textbook. Well, in your childhood in prep classes, probably you would have learned different poems by heart. So before starting today's lecture, let's know what's poem. Well, poem is a genre or kind of poetry. It is such a piece of writing in which the words are arranged in separate lines, often ending with rhythm. As we learned that poem is a genre or kind of poetry, so what's poetry? Poetry is a literary work in which feelings, emotions are expressed beautifully in a certain style and manner. Let's start. Poem number 1, whose name is The Neem Tree. Introduction. The Neem Tree. The Neem Tree is an inspirational and motivational, beautiful poem written by a German poetess, Mrs. Elsa Ghazi, or Mother Elsa. She was born in 1884 in a small village of Weimar city named Gertrude Lasch in Germany. She was very fond of writing short stories, novels, one-act plays or dramas, and poetry. In Germany in 1907, she met a Pakistani scholar educationist named Allama Aya Qazi or Imdad Ali Imam Ali Qazi. She got married to him in 1910. After getting married, she came to Sindh in 1911. She also helped his husband in writing his famous book Brown Coal in Search of God. She died in Hyderabad on 28th of May 1967 and buried beside her husband at the Sindh University campus Jamshoro. The Neem Tree, stanza number 1. My lovely neem, that intercepts sun's scorching beam, yet bears the heat all day, without the rain's refreshing spray, thou charm'st wanderers bow away with soothing shade. In these lines, the poetess shows her hearty feelings by saying that the neem tree is so adorable because it stops intensive solar rays, because bears intensive solar rays in summers all the time. In return, it doesn't ask any reward, even not a single drop of rain. It continues its service of providing soothing shade. Its soothing and cooling shade is the greatest attraction for the tired travelers. In summer, when they are tired and fed up of hot weather, they take rest under it. And for a while, somehow, they forget their worries and problems. Its shade is great blessing for worried and tired travelers. Stanza number 2. How strong you are, how unafraid, how green thy leaves, in spite of all the midday flames that burning fall upon thy unprotected head. In these lines, poetess exclaims and says that the neem tree is very strong, bold, and fearless enough to tolerate extreme, intensive heat rays of the sun. Though it bears hot weather, specifically during midday, yet there is no sign of tolerance on them. It bears extreme sun rays of noon without having any shade or shelter over it. It stops solar rays over its branches that are spread like they are its head. In spite of bearing hot rays, its leaves are fresh and green. Its leaves are not withered. They are not pale, not even wrinkled. Stanza number 3. Could man be bold as thou and rise above the world with sheltering arms? to save the suffering ones from harm, from sorrows, poverty, and vice through sacrifice. In these lines, the poetess is wishing man must be as bold and brave as the neem tree is. Human being must start learning lesson of helping and sacrifice from the neem tree. Man should be as courageous as the neem tree is. She wishes that man should do much work and make efforts to protect the suffering humanity, to protect others from grief, poverty, and vice. Man must be ready for any kind of sacrifice for the protection of suffering human beings. In short, man must make efforts selflessly for others' ease, comfort, even on the cost of his own life, time, and money. Stanza number 4. Could man be steadfast and like thee, face every fate, would it not be fulfillment of life's loftiest dream, my lovely name? In these lines, the poetess wishes that man should learn lesson of sacrifice from the neem tree. A man should be well determined, bold, and strong like it. As the neem tree faces ups and downs and hardships for others' comfort and ease, similarly, every human being must sacrifice his time, ease, comfort, even his own life for others' happiness. And the noblest goal is to serve others unconditionally without expecting good in return. Man should face sufferings what's written in destiny during accomplishment of his goal. He must get ready to face the troubles that may come in his life. To achieve the noblest aim of life, sacrifice should be given. Well, students, what lesson does the poetess want to give us by writing the neem tree? What does she want from us? What's the main idea of this poem? Well, the central idea of the neem tree is that the highest and the noblest aim of life is to serve the suffering humanity and to face and bear hardships for achieving that goal. As we all human beings are superb creature of Allah, can't we serve others like neem tree? Can't we tolerate hardships for others' ease and comfort? In this era, I have noticed that we are going towards declination. We have become so rude, we have become so selfish that for our own sake, for our own comfort, for our own fame, we hurt others and thus create chaos and turmoil in society. We have to change ourselves. We have to be better version of ourselves. Let's change ourselves. Let's change ourselves. We have to be as Allah wants to see us. Well, students, thank you for being with me. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.